check. Hi, what's your name?
My name's Thanissara Weinberg.
Thanissara Weinberg?
Yes, that's my legal name.
What do people call you for short?
T.
Okay.
Thanissara is a Buddhist name. I was a Buddhist nun for 12 years. Mary is from my Irish family name, and Weinberg is my married name.
Okay.
Yeah, so my Jewish family.
It's quite a mix.
Yeah, I'm a mix.
All right.
Yes.
You are listening to the Sea Roam Podcast. I'm your host, KMO. I'm at Battery Park on the morning of Monday, Flood Wall Street. And I am here with, I hope I get it right, Thanissara
Weinberg. You got it right.
I'm here with Thanissara Weinberg, who was on the climate train with Binggong.
That's correct. That's correct. It was amazing. We were there for 4 days. We left the Bay Area. There were 170 of us. We had 50 workshops. Everyone was on the same page, focusing on the causes of climate change, on the actions needed to overcome the challenges we're facing, and the resolve to mobilize.
The C in Sea Roam stands for consciousness, and I have spoken to Buddhist teachers and other meditators in recent months talking about the value of focusing one's efforts on mastering one's own emotions and one's own perceptions and one's own consciousness, and that how that can, in a way, this is a contentious point, but maybe scale up and have some macro effect that would be beneficial to the world.
Yes, I agree. I think fundamentally what we're looking at is a crisis of energy. We need an energy revolution, but we're looking at a crisis of consciousness. This is because we have capitalism, colonialism, patriarchy. I lived in South Africa for 20 years and I've been very involved in the AIDS pandemic and the impact of apartheid, colonialism. And what you understand from that process is how profoundly we objectify the world out there. And when we objectify the world, then we feel we can use the resources, exploit it, use the peoples that are most marginalized to support our more comfortable, entitled lives. But we can do that no longer. And the crisis of consciousness means we have to evolve from a place of this dualism, of seeing ourselves as separate from the earth, separate from each other, to a place where we understand we're involved in a very profound web of life, that we're all impacted by everything that each of us does. And that is a process of training. It's a realization, but it's a training to align our emotions, our thinking, our perceptions, and our actions with that reality.
Does that also entail giving up the mentality that we have villains to fight, say the 1%?
Well, we have villains to fight. We do have villains. It's a war on some level, but how we engage that, and we have villains internally to fight. The 1% is a reflection also of the mind, and we are in the web of that same mind. So we also have to do the work on our own consumption, our own addictiveness to the ways of life that are destroying the planet, our own seeds of division. We have to look at all of that, but we also have to demonstrate and confront and challenge those that are very, very unconscious and that would doom this planet and each of us to a suicidal trajectory which we cannot afford. How we do it is the issue. It's how to mobilize, how to demonstrate, but how to not split inwardly and create an us and them. That's the challenge for me.
Meditation, particularly the sort of more macho-seeming meditations like Zazen, seem like quite a challenge. Is there basically baby steps or an easier, more palatable entry into the sort of conditioning of consciousness that you're describing?
Well, Buddhism has had quite a warrior patriarchal tone for 2,500 years. The feminine in Buddhism has been deeply alienated and marginalized as well. So there's a revolution that has to happen within Buddhism to bring back when you talk about enlightenment, when you're connected with the depth feminine, you're talking about an immediate realization that connects us with the intelligence of the world, the universe, and we access that realization, that intelligence through our own inner awareness, and that is free, that's accessible. Every moment we come to the body, to our breath, to inner listening. We hear beneath the chaos of our mind, our emotional reactivity, we hear that heartbeat of universal intelligence, and it's that, as the Buddha said, we have to be a light unto ourselves, and it is that that will guide us.
What are your hopes for today's activities?
Well, this is the beginning of this is an interesting moment that we've just seen here in New York and across the world, of course, is that we've seen yesterday 400,000 people gathering, many, many more, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands across the world gathering. We're seeing ourselves as a tribe. This is all peoples coming together that are rising up like the immune system of the planet. Today, this is more the front line. These are the guys on the front line that are going to Wall Street, going to the economic system and saying this is no longer working, capitalism is going to destroy us, and they're going to challenge that. My hope is that they can do that with the warrior energy, but also the lover energy of holding the sense of peace and inner capacity, inner connection with their own non-violence aura. Because I think if we won't win on a violent level, we can't overcome a military industrial complex through the use of violence. We have to use a different energy. So I hope that this today, that can happen, that there can be protests, but with the energy that doesn't default to violence. On both sides, on all sides.
Other than just the lack of overt physical violence, is there anything you can think of that might be an exteriorization or a manifestation of the process that you're talking about?
Well, what we did yesterday when I walked with the Buddhists is that we chanted. It's a very simple practice. We were walking together and we just chanted a mantra. It's a very ancient mantra, but it's the words that mean remember this inner listening, because when we listen inwardly, it's like my friend when she lost her child and she was devastated by that loss. And I said to her, how are you with that now, many years later? And she said, when I think about my child, I really suffer and I feel distraught, but when I listen into my heart, my child's there listening with me. If we can use a mantra to listen into the heart, Wall Street, this is one mind, Wall Street's in us. This protest is in Wall Street. There isn't any ultimate divisions. So the mantra, whether we say it internally, whatever words it is that connects us to that listening heart, whatever prayer it is, this is a practical way we can stay focused and centered and strong.
Would you share that mantra with the listening audience?
Oh, yeah, well, the mantra that I've been using invokes the Bodhisattva, the being of great compassion and mercy. Her name in Chinese is Kuan Yin. Namo, which means I return. Kuan, which means I listen or regard. Yin, which means sound, the one that listens to sound. Namo Kuan Yin. So this is a mantra that's really, Kuan Yin is not Chinese, she's not Buddhist, doesn't belong to any particular Buddhist sect or any time in history. Kuan Yin is a word that represents this deepest heart that I'm talking about, the heart that is actually the pure consciousness within which everything emerges and into which everything dissolves.
Kuan Yin has been with me for a long time.
Really? Fantastic! Kuan Yin.
There is a lovely carving of Kuan Yin, or alternately identified as the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara, but it's at the Nelson William Rockwell Museum of Art in Kansas City, Missouri.
I've heard about that and I've seen pictures. It's my favorite depiction of Kuan Yin sitting in her royal ease posture. And I think that's that thing of at ease. I mean, this is a very highly charged situation, a moment in our history, but we have to maintain inner joy, inner easefulness, inner strength, inner clarity. And if we can do that, I think we have a chance to move from the consciousness that we now need to see expressed throughout our planetary system.
Bing just handed you his card. The picture on it is that Bodhisattva image that I'm talking about.
That is the one, and we have that on our website, and it's just the most, I've seen it actually, it was on tour when it came to London, a Buddhist exhibition in London, and when I walked into the room and saw that image, then like the radiation from it was profound.
Well, T, thank you very much. Pardon me. T, thank you very much for speaking with me.
Thank you so much, Kevin. Thank you, Bing, and good luck to everyone.